start. I start the broadcast streaming on Facebook. Just a minute.
Okay, Julie, you tell us when we can start.
We are live, please.
Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for being here, and I'm pleased to welcome students that passed through our master, and pleased to have here with us Vera Noun from Lebanon. And Vera was our student in the academic year 2019 and 2020. So the third edition of the master. Vera Noun has a background in architecture, and now she's working as a marine policy and ocean literacy project coordinator at ACTeon Environment in France. So Vera, welcome and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. And we have also with us Andrea Lanza. It's from Italy. Andrea was a student of the master in the second edition, and the year 2018-2019. And as a background, he's has a political science, and now he works as a program assistant at the European Commission, DG MARE. Andrea, welcome again, and pleased to have you here with us.
Thank you, Munir.
Together with me, we are a board of directors, so I represent OGS, and we have also the University of Trieste present with us, with Professor Elena Marchegiani. Elena, welcome, and thank you for being here with us.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet again also our former students who are very, very successful and very promising, starting from how they follow the master course and how they produced the project work at the end. So I had the pleasure to work with somehow with both of them, and I must say that they were really very motivated and very careful in bringing together all they have learned. So their group, the final work was really the top for our standards. So I'm very happy to see them and to know that they're going on as researchers, young researchers, because they really had a profitable time, I think, also at the master.
Very good. So thank you. This is exactly what we want to also hear today from both of them. As you know, we have now the call for the next edition of the master is open. So I invite all of you. I know that we have students of the edition right now present with us, but also we open this streaming to many other candidates, let's say, potential candidate for the new master. Just to recall your attention, the deadline will be on the 7th of October, so you still have time to apply to that. And the master is 12 months of studying, but there are 3 intensive sessions of 15 days each. We would like also to announce that we are doing our best to have it face-to-face. Unfortunately, for now a couple of years, we have, because of the pandemic situation, we didn't succeed to do that. The master was going online, but we are trying to go back and to come back to the quasi-normal situation. We have, of course, to announce that we have some fellowships available for the students that want to apply to this master. So we would like also to invite most of the students, particularly from the Southern Shore, to apply to the fellowship, and we will be pleased also to have you with us for the next edition. I don't want to steal more time for our guests today. We have, I'm pleased really, they consider them excellent work, as Elena Marchegiani was saying, but also excellent people. The people that you meet and you don't forget, people that you want to see, people that you want to hear from them. And this is also the reality of our master. It's more also a human being, let's say, together for a couple of months, also consolidate these relationships with professors and students. And so I'm very, very pleased to have both Vera Noun and Andrea Lanza. And I immediately ask Vera Noun about, as a testimonial of the master, about her impression and how she can also call and somehow other students to have the same path for her career. So please, Vera.
Thank you. I will share my screen. I prepared a small PowerPoint presentation. So, okay. Can you all see my screen? Okay, so as Mr. Munir introduced me, my name is Vera Noun. I'm from Lebanon, and I will give you a testimonial on my experience in the master. However, I would also like to mention or talk about how I even got there, how I even got to the opportunity to apply there, why was I eligible, etc. So I will go over briefly about my academic and professional journey and go on after that. So in a nutshell, I started by studying architecture. So I had my master's in architecture in 2013. And then I studied maritime spatial planning. So it was an Erasmus Mundus course, and that I graduated in 2018. And finally, I landed on the advanced master course in sustainable blue growth, which I just received my degree physically a couple of days ago. So in terms of professional path, I've worked in architecture since almost 2010. In urban planning, I've worked also for a couple of years, and then everything related to marine topics and marine literacy, ocean literacy, marine policy, consultancies has been in the past 4 to 5 years. So you asked me, how did I get from architecture to sustainable blue growth? Well, the sea element has always been there. So in my last senior project in architecture, I designed a maritime underwater archaeology museum. And so I've always wanted to do something related to the sea. I started with architecture and then moved on. My master's in maritime spatial planning was more political, but also related to the sea. It was about maritime spatial planning in the area of Tripoli, which is somewhat in a conflict setting. And finally, my master's in sustainable blue growth, I came back to maritime archaeology, and I did what is the format is future opportunities in research, and I tackled the issue of maritime cultural heritage and sustainable blue growth in Lebanon. However, the choice of this topic was not very smooth. It was not very easy, and that is basically due. So this is the online final presentation. It was very tough because, as just like everyone else, 2020 was full of ups and downs, mainly downs. But the way I landed on this topic was as follows. So first of all, it started with me wanting to do something in relation with also the opportunity to do an internship that I won through the Deep Blue project. So actually in the beginning of 2020, I was planning to go to Sardinia, and I'm like, perfect, I will link my master course to this topic. I will work on sustainable blue growth in MPAs. And then COVID happened. So we had to cancel the flights to Italy. We had to cancel the internship, unfortunately. So everything changed in March 2020, but we're like, okay, we will adapt the topic. We'll try to do something more local and stick to the theme. So I decided to do the same topic, but choosing an MPA that is in Lebanon. That was in June 2020. So more or less the thematic was the same. Starting to work on this topic, another major event happened, which is the explosion of Beirut port in August 2020. Most of you have already heard about this disaster. It shook our lives, basically. It shook our city. And it just made me reassess the whole choice of the master topic, etc. So after the explosion, I wanted to do something to help, do something to feel that I participated. I tried to help. I tried to contribute to the rebuilding of the port. Obviously, I was very driven by emotions. I was very driven by anger. So I realized that this is a much bigger task than something that I can do in the framework of the masters. The reason why I'm telling you this whole path is because I want you to see how diversified the options that you can do within this master course. The various topics are all addressable through the master course. And for each topic, I was able to find a professor who can help me more or less to guide me in this topic. And I'm very thankful also for the support and the patience from both Dr. Munir and Dr. Elena, because obviously I was like, okay, I need to change my topic again. And they were very supportive and they were understanding of the situation. Until finally I had an opportunity. I was proposed to apply for a PhD on maritime heritage and sustainable blue growth. So it's like the topic is basically tailored for me. So I calmed down. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this as the topic, the proposal for the PhD will be my master work. And so I went on with this. I forgot about all the three previous topics and I focused on the topic of marine cultural heritage and sustainable blue growth in Lebanon. Now, you ask me in 2021, what happened after all of this? I'm happy to tell you that I did get accepted for the PhD. And actually the proposal that the master final project that I worked on was the same one that I applied for the PhD and I got accepted. But I also got accepted for a job that I applied for during my master course. So I was a bit confused what to choose. Do I want to go with the job? Do I want to do the PhD? Suddenly I have so many options after not having many. I tried to combine both, to be honest. I spoke to my employers. They were like, okay, maybe you can try to do both and at the same time. I spoke to the PhD people. They also tried to make it happen, but unfortunately, due to visa considerations, I couldn't. In the end, I decided to choose the professional choice to do actually a job because I'm like, okay, I studied a lot. I think it's time to put it into practice. So I'm currently working in ACTeon in France. This is where I am right now. I want to give you a few conclusions or, last messages that you can use and hopefully that will benefit you. We always talk about, okay, what you learn in the master course is what you learn, but the element that really helped me the most was the people. When I talk about the people, I talk about the academic board and also the classmates that I've never met. But in the end, to this day, I'm actually still in touch with some of the professors that I worked with. For example, now we're organizing an ocean literacy event and we're working with Professor Julia Rieldan. I have also contacted Professor Vittorio for a project. I have used the publications of Professor Kanu on a project that I'm currently working on. Professor Munir is always supporting me. I'm always asking him things, referrals, etc. Professor Elena and her supporting my, ups and downs throughout the master. So the academic board that I've never met were really a rich collection of people. Of course, there are many more, but I'm just mentioning the people that today, after the master course, I'm still somehow in connection with. As for the classmates, although also I've never met the classmates, but I was able to form a little bit of relationships. Syrian, for example, she was reaching out to me. We were supporting each other, to work more, to follow the deadlines. And Turkmen, we're always appearing in the same webinars. He refers me to certain people, Piero, Elena, etc. So many of these people, we are still in touch. Sometimes we manage to work together. So one of the main conclusions is, besides the actual material that you learn, people are the real thing that you will need. It is thanks to people that I found a job, referrals, recommendations. So really foster these human relationships and focus on them. Some piece of advice for the upcoming students. First of all, get organized. So the structure of the master helps you to do that. The way it's divided, the way that everything is available online. I recommend you to save all the references that you have, because you will need them. To this day, every time I need a document, I go back to the master course folder, I download it, I search by theme. So download the documents and save them, the presentations, and save them. You're gonna use them. The second advice is try to find the silver lining behind the COVID crisis. Of course, it's a negative thing that COVID took away a lot of lives. It changed all of our entire lives, but there are some positives after it. Thanks to COVID, I was able to have a job and do the master course at the same time. Thanks to COVID, I was able to work from home and take consultancies. So try to really juggle all of these potential opportunities that you will have, and use the opportunity that you can work from home, you can work remotely. Another piece of advice that I mentioned earlier is to stay in touch with the professors, with the students. You will always need one of them, or one of them may need you. So these networks, keep them, work on them, have a WhatsApp group, have a Facebook group. In whatever way, I do suggest that you keep this connection, because you never know how you can help someone or someone can help you. Be consistent, and this is something that I say after, because in the beginning I didn't know it, but like looking back, I always see that there was a specific path. I know I jumped a lot of topics, but there's always like a specific path that I'm working on. So find your path and try to fit the pieces of the puzzle on this path. Finally, dare to stand out. So do not be scared to be different, to innovate, to trigger emotions in your presentations, to try to really tell a story. It's not always about, very rigid things. Try to open up your mind and innovate. I think these are the main messages that I can take from the course in general and from the career as well. So best of luck. If you have any questions or you would like to, ask for advice, I'm here. You can reach me. My name is Vera Noun. So thank you again. I hope I did not exceed my time. And voilà.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was really an excellent, let's say, message that you gave also to our students, but also for the candidates. I expect what you would be doing. So I was not surprised. So really, thank you very much for this. And I will maybe leave the questions later on after Andrea. So yes, we will give the right time for both of you, and then we will have interaction with the people listening to us. So please, Andrea, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Munir. Thank you, Vera. Very excellent presentation, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I'm not that organized. You need to listen to my voice, just this. I will start to telling you my personal path that brought me to the master. So my background, as Munir said, is in political science. I did a bachelor degree in Trieste at University of Trieste in political science and international relations. And after that, I took another master in international relations, but at the University of Amsterdam. After that master, I didn't see that many possibilities opened for my future career. I was already focused on environmental issues, and more specifically on marine environment. However, I couldn't find any job opportunity or even internships after that. So I took the opportunity to apply to this master. At the beginning, I was not convinced to be the right candidate, also for my background, because I thought, okay, it's a master for marine biologists or in any case for people with a scientific background. However, I got accepted, and I need to say that it has been the best opportunity I had in my university career, because it opened to me a lot of possibilities. And after the master, I had the opportunity to take an internship at the OGS itself. So this internship was really enriching. And after this, I took another internship at the Union for the Mediterranean. It is in close collaboration and contact and coordination with the OGS and with the master itself. For them, going to the European Commission as a Blue Book trainee. So I got accepted as an intern there. And after that, I found the possibility to enter inside and become a contract agent and work here as a desk officer for a specific country and a program assistant. So I would like to tell you 3 main points about the master. Why to choose the master on Sustainable Blue Road? First of all, it's because of its internationality. So it has been the first time in my university career that I had the opportunity to study and to liaise with international people outside of Europe. So I found a lot of people from MENA region, North African countries, and it has been super enriching and a really diverse opportunity from the rest of university courses.
Andrea, we have a problem with the microphone. I'm sorry to tell you, there is a problem with the microphone. The sound goes and come back.
Now you hear me?
Perfect. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you.
So I was telling you about my ex-colleagues of the master. Yes, this is, I think, the first reason to choose this master, because you open your horizons, enlarge your networking, and you build up friendships and connections that will last. So, for instance, I still have a lot of connections. I call them, and I need to say that some of them helped me when I had to do the test for entering into the commission. So really, it's the treasure of this master. Another reason is the multidisciplinarity of the master. So as I was saying, I was not convinced to be accepted at the first moment because of my background. And I think my background, it was the reason because of I was accepted, because it was different a little bit from the others. I was not a researcher, and I had a social, let's say, political background. And this is very, I don't know, I would suggest to everybody having this kind of background to apply, because you can bring another perspective kind of into the topic. So for instance, for me, international relations apply to maritime and marine fisheries issues. It has been super interesting, and yes, I could find a lot of opportunities also in order to write my final project, for instance. The third reason is the networking. Not only the networking with my ex-colleagues or the students of the master, but with the professors and with the directors. So there are really a lot of teachers and tutors at the master. No, tutors just one, but teachers, a lot of them. And every professor is dealing with a different topic. So it's very likely that if you are interested in a specific topic, you will find somebody that deals or academically or working relatedly with that specific issue. So you can build up contacts, and you can try to find a job or an opportunity related to your interests. Another thing I would like to add is that I had also the opportunity to be the tutor of the master, and this helped me a lot into connecting both with the students and with the professors. So I need to say that I've been very, very, very lucky in order to take part to this master, and it was the reason because I'm here now and I'm doing this job now. So I'm really grateful and thankful, and yes, I suggest everybody with this specific background to apply.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you also for this invitation. I just would like to open the floor to the people listening to you, both of you. If they have some questions and they could interact with you, with both of you, please raise up your hands and we'll give you the floor. In the meantime, just to, because you were speaking about people that you interact with, Andrea was in the edition of 2018-2019, and I have here in front of me some statistics. In that year, you were 15 students, 2 from Algeria, 1 from Greece, 1 from Italy, Andrea Lanza, 1 from Libya, 3 from Morocco, 1 from Serbia, 1 from Trinidad and Tobago, and 5 from Tunisia, just to give you also the, let's say, the best of the master of this international master. For Vera Noun, she was in the edition of 2019-2020, and the number of students, you were 18, and you were 2 from Algeria, 2 from Italy, 1 from Lebanon, Vera Noun, 3 from Morocco, 1 from Romania, 2 from Serbia, 1 from Turkey, and 6 from Tunisia. So this is also some numbers, but also they have behind the numbers, there are names and also faces, and that's what they were saying for us, both Andrea and Vera. So good friendships, and this is also another face of the master, the best face of the master. Please don't be shy if you have some questions, or Julia, if you receive questions from the streaming from Facebook, please convey the question to our guests today.
There are no
Just
comments at the moment.
Yes.
There are no comments yet.
Okay, just to break the ice, and also for this career, and I support the invitation of Andrea for the multidisciplinarity of the master. Of course, when we were selecting the candidates, also we said, as you now you mentioned, that if this is a master of, let's say, multidisciplinary master, for sustainable blue growth, that by next year we are now, I discussed also with the director, so the master, we will change the name. Hopefully next year we will follow the recommendation from the European Commission, and will be sustainable blue economy rather than blue growth. And this is also will have good somehow emphasis even for the CV, and so hopefully for the next edition of the master will be called not this one, but the next sustainable blue economy. And for this reason, for example, we have in our activities, the master in particular, people coming from different backgrounds. Just these 2 guests today, we have Vera Noun, architect, but discipline that bring her to do spatial planning, bring her to do cultural heritage, and so on. So you see the multidisciplinarity even in the people themselves. For the same thing for Andrea, international cooperation and political science, and this is also our topics that are very important. As you know, sustainability is also based on the 3 main pillars of society, economy, and the environment, and that's why we also would like even to see people from social science maybe next year, from again international cooperation, and beside, of course, let's say the most of the people coming from biology, from geological geophysics, architecture, and this is good. This is good. Even between them, I can see the interaction. We have some working groups, and I can see they are make rich also the work of the professors from the questions of the students, but also from the work between the students themselves. So maybe this would help other candidates listening to us to apply, not to let's say, because we didn't have discrimination on that. The question of age also, we didn't have any discrimination. And also we encourage women. We have now a lot of candidates, and in the past, many students are, and Andrea and Vera could confirm this, that we have a very good balance of women and men, and this is good also. The gender issue, I mean, a master degree that could also help to grow the possibility of women to be also part of the decision makers in their countries. And we really encourage this. So we try to form those people that will be needed for their own countries and be part of the decision makers at a certain level. And this is also a good aspect. Julia, if you have some questions from the audience, if not, maybe also we could ask questions from ourselves. Elena, if you want also to ask questions to your students, please go ahead.
No, I think you said everything, and the most important now is listen to the questions if they have any question. But yes, I think that also the storytelling that Vera and Andrea made showed in a very clear and immediate way that the main issue is that you are really interested in blue growth, in marine issues, or in the overall topics that are embraced by this huge, let's say, field of reflection. This is the most important thing. Then we will make with you the rest. So our aim is, as we said, to learn with you, to also we are curious as you should be. So we are not afraid of trying new paths or joining different expertise, different points of view. So we are very happy also if we can, under your suggestion and your prompts, combine different teachers, different researchers. So really, either both for those who are following the course now, the master course now, and for those who are interested in applying, see this as an opportunity, not as something you have already to respond to. So it's an opportunity for you.
So we received a couple of questions. The first one is whether there will be some scholarships. The second one is about the opportunity of meeting enterprises, companies during the classes.
Yes, the answer will be yes. As I said since the beginning, we have some fellowships. We look forward for this year to have number, even I tell you, 10 fellowships. And as you have also seen in the past, the fellowships cover also the, let's say, the accommodation and travel if the master this year will be face-to-face. Otherwise, we will pay the fees to the university, which are, even I tell you, 3.2, so 3,200 euro to the university as a fee for registration, for let's say, to register to the university, the inscription. So for this, I think that we will continue in this direction. We will have 10 fellowships for the next edition. the next question, what was, Julia?
About the enterprises, the possibility of meeting companies.
Yes. This was also one of the aspects that we were working on it, and even we have around the table where we put together also the local industry here in the Trieste area, and they were also they come to the class and they speak to our students. We make visits to some realities here in Trieste, like the port authorities or Wärtsilä, which is a big company, and so on. So unfortunately for the visit, we will see because of the pandemic situation, but we will try to consolidate this even online. I mean, we want to put you on contact with the companies. What we were trying to do recently, and also I also recommend also for changing even for the way of communicating to our students, is to encourage them also about startups, spin-offs, and so on. So not just trying to follow the classic, I would say, career of researchers or trying to find, but also to invest in the blue economy. Now it's a sector which is not saturated, which means that you have the possibility, the opportunity to go in, and I hope that we will succeed to do that. We have, yes, please.
No, Munir,
Yes.
I will say that apart from these meetings online, during the years, OGS, but also through the university, we have organized some networking and contacts specific, also starting from the interests of the participants to the master. So there is also a way of, let's say, of networking, of providing information for further opportunities and so on. So there is, let's say, a formal and overall issue, but there is also a very, let's say, customized also approach we have, no, Munir? This is quite important because also the Vera and Andrea are the proof of this.
Yes, I confirm, and I think that also in the future, one of the topics that also attract our attention, and I am very pleased that we have in this edition of the master, we have also a participant from the cluster, the Blue Italian Growth cluster, which is now with you, and the idea of being close to the industry. This is important, and we would like to consolidate this. Andrea mentioned before, for example, fisheries and aquaculture. We are working so much with this sector. For example, for colleagues in Libya, we are trying also to bring them on board. And we would like also that people, hopefully, as I said, I think thinks if with the pandemic situation, the restriction, we would like to make this happen, to bring people also and to take them around here in the area of Del Friuli Venezia Giulia and visit some of these plants, beside the mobility program, which is also after the master. Some of you, as Andrea, had the opportunity to make an internship in the Union for the Mediterranean and also for the European Commission. We could facilitate also an internship within the industry itself. And this is also another opportunity. I can see two hands raised up. First of all, I give immediately to Andrea and then to Anas.
I just want to add that there are also specific courses during the master on how to catch the opportunities on the job market. So for instance, there is a specific course on public speaking and how to develop your CV and how to deal with, for instance, if you have to expose your idea to possible investors, or so it's very focused on the practice and on the opportunities on the job market. So it's very a point of the master. This.
Thank you, Andrea. Absolutely. Anas, please. Anas.
Yes. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. It is always a pleasure to interact with you, with the professors and the ex-colleagues also. Um, I cannot emphasize more on the different aspects of the master that Vera and Andrea mentioned. It is really, really as interesting as it sounds, but I just would like to point to another aspect, which is the relevance of the master regarding current problematics and interests in the world in general. So if we take the point that Dr. Munir mentioned regarding the renaming of the master, this is just to put more the accent kind of, or to stress more how invested, like for example the European Commission or other international, intergovernmental and governmental institutions and entities are really focusing on the this topic of blue economy or blue growth. And so it really is something that is very up to date. The master is really will be helpful as soon as you get done with it. Even before that, as everything is moving towards that topic and those aspects, and with some capitalization on what you will learn, you can even apply the different tools and knowledge you will gain through the master to other similar fields in the development, sustainable development. So maybe not only the blue sectors, even if you are in the green sectors, or you ambition to work on more land-oriented issues, the mechanisms and the knowledge you will gain through the masters will also be useful in that area. I'm speaking from a very privileged perspective, as the master gave me the opportunity to work currently with the FAO in Algeria. I'm currently project specialists dealing with all blue economy and fisheries projects, and this is almost a big part of this is because of the masters. So it really helps a lot with all that have been said, and with also this specific point of how relevant it is to current issues and problematics. That's all for me. Thank you.
Very good. So thank you, Anas, and also thank you for these testimonial words. We are very pleased also to hear that, and we are following you. We have a good traceability tool. We are trying to also to see what you are doing. We are your big brother, so we knew already your movement. So we also would like to announce that we are planning, and hopefully in the coming months and years, to have a big conference of ex-alumni of the master. And this is also will be the good way of you to meet again people in the same class, but also the other editions. So we are trying to do that in the future, and as soon as we have the, let's say, authorization from these restrictions, we will do that, and we will be having you, all of you, here in Trieste for the big conference of ex-students of the master. So please let me know if we have some other questions, otherwise, or comments.
There are a couple of questions regarding more the organization. So if the master is just for 1 year, and if the course will be online, and if a student in geology, applied geophysics, is eligible for the master.
Yes, I start from the last point, and yes, I can tell you, of course, this is one of the topics that could be also easily accepted within our master. So the person that asked this question could apply. There is no any restriction and discrimination on that. Regarding the master, as I said since the beginning, is 12 months, but is also a master that we thought about flexibility, maximum flexibility for those that they are working. And it's a master for also, I will say, on the job training, because people, they succeed to be here for 3 main appointments in 3 sessions, one in March, in spring, another one in summer, in June, and finally in September. So 3 main sessions of 15 days intensive, and then you have the time to prepare your thesis. It's a project work. So the whole master, the duration of the whole master is 12 months. Regarding the having the master online or face-to-face, it doesn't depend from us, unfortunately. I have even some real examples. Last week we have students from working with us, PhD. She was in Tunisia for holidays. Even though she was vaccinated, she came back, but she was stopped and blocked at home for 10 days as a quarantine. And you can imagine bringing people to the master and stacking them in the hotel for 10 days. So even though she has the green pass, which means that she was vaccinated, and she did also the test before coming to Italy. So it doesn't depend from us, honestly. At the university, we have a lot of flexibility also to have students in the university, but we have a limited number. We know that the master also between 10 to 25 students per year. So we don't have this, let's say, constraint, but unfortunately we need to follow the overall indications from the let's say, the government. And of course, we need to follow the rules at the national level. That's it. So I think we need to close here. I really thank you very much. I thank Andrea Lanza, and I thank Vera Noun for being with us. Very pleased to see you, and I really invite people to follow your path, and very proud of you, of both of you, but not only. We also heard some other colleagues like Anas and many other colleagues. They are making their PhD. They will have a lot of appointments in the future as testimonials. We succeed to have Andrea and Vera also. We thank you for giving us from your time. Thank you, Professor Elena Marchigiani.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Giulia and Massolino and Flavia Rolli, the people working in OGS, following you, and the Secretariat also of the Dialogue 5+5, Maria Zanenghi, and all the people working both at University of Trieste and OGS. I thank you from my side, and I wish you all the best, and looking forward to see you here in the future.
So see you soon. See you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.